we use AI so that we are not, when we're enhancing our work rather than replacing people with it? How can people use it to enhance the way they work? So I will start first. Let's start with it. Let's go through an icebreaker first before I go into more details about this amazing lineup of speakers. I'm gonna stop sharing for a moment. Where's my share button? I want to stop sharing. Have I stopped sharing yet? I'm still sharing. Okay. I know how to use Zoom. I don't know what's going on right now. Trust me, I do. Please, where's my button? How do I stop sharing? All right, anyway, we can have the conversation with it. Or is it my other screen? Now, let's do a one-word check-in. All right, how are we feeling today? Today, just with one word, and I want you guys to speak up. Don't type. Please speak up. Tell us how you're feeling today with one word.
Mischievous.
Ah, Mary. Mischievous, I know. You have some plans coming up. Right. Mary has a story behind that. Yes. Who else? How you feel? I feel excited. I'm excited, not just about this event today, but also about I have a wedding after this. I'm also excited about going to the wedding, but just a mixed feeling of excitement and happiness. Who else wants to follow back on that?
I'll go. I'm feeling very grateful to be here.
Oh, grateful to be here or grateful for more? What else are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for the ability to learn more about AI and how I can leverage it as a Scrum Master.
Yes. Now stay tuned to the end because there might be some offerings from our speakers that might lead you into getting hands-on with it, right? So I'm glad to hear that. Thank you, Loretta. Who else? Who else wants to share? How are you feeling today?
You took my
Naisha, are you speaking? Okay.
I was trying to. You took my word. I'm also excited for today's session, and today's Saturday, so I'm also excited about this weekend. So I'll use your word. Also excited.
Yeah, we'll share it. It's all good. High fives. All right. Okay. So now that we've checked in, right? Let's all come in. I welcome you to join the space. Let's wear our AI learning hats and move on with the conversation today. So with this, I'm going to introduce the speakers. So our first speaker, one of our panelists is Lola. Lola is the founder of Piper, and that's a project intelligence and planning assists. It's an AI SaaS that transforms messy requirements into sprint-ready backlogs under 2 minutes. She's also the creator of CURT, which is a sizing framework to be adopted by Agile communities for evidence-based estimation. So beyond the tech, she also runs mentorship cohorts. She's chair Beauty Out of Dust scholarship programs and a champion AI literacy for African immigrants. I want us to welcome Lola Adeyemo to our event today.
Thank you.
I can see you guys. Yeah.
Grateful to
go ahead.
No, thank you. I was just saying thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for being here. And our second speaker is Deirdre Enenga. So, Deirdre, did I pronounce your last name well? Enenga? Okay, so Deirdre may have some technical connection issues, but then I'm sure she'll join back. But she is a dynamic organizational change management professional with a proven track record of igniting employee engagement. Her illustrious career includes spearheading enterprise level transformations in re-engineering, digitalization and automation. And she has played a pivotal role in establishing and nurturing project management offices renowned for their excellence in program and project delivery. Now, she also has a Six Sigma Master Black Belt certification, and she's poised to steer sustainable growth through cutting-edge digital strategy and dynamic team facilitation. So let's welcome Deirdre, even in her absence. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, you're here. Awesome. Good to have you.
Yeah, I think we're stable now. I apologize.
That's awesome. Welcome. And I love your background. Okay. And Elaine. We have Elaine Jackson. Elaine is the CEO and owner of Holistic Project Solutions. It's a premier project management consultancy founded in 2008. She has over 15 years of experience in project management and is committed to advancing excellence in project management, leadership and development, and organizational transformation. Elaine is also a nationally recognized project leader expert known for helping professionals and organizations achieve project success through strategic coaching. A fun fact about Elaine is she does it's not karate, please, it's not. Correct me, Elaine. It is, you have a belt in remind me.
Martial arts, yeah.
Martial arts, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So please don't mess with her. Please don't. Well, she's awesome. I'm so glad to have you here. Thank you. And of course, Mary Lynn, yay, made in Taiwan, grew up in the Dominican Republic and moved to Texas to pursue her college degree. She is an organizational change manager for 15 years. I have witnessed her work in her space and succeed in supporting organizations through changes. So thank you, Mary, for being here. Appreciate every one of you. All right. I am going to stop sharing the screen, right? And I'm going to have Ezine, if you could spotlight all our speakers for today. Do you mind spotlighting them? Ezine, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I'm doing that.
Thank you very much. All right. So I'm going to start with a question. And please, for everyone, please feel free to drop your questions in as we have the conversation. I'm going to be looking at the chat. I'm going to go back to it to find out, to get out the questions and ask our panelists same questions. All right. I'm trying to see if the spotlight can come on. As we go. All right. So we have heard a lot about AI, right? There's an assumption, there are overstatements, there's a myth about AI. There's a lot of noise, and sometimes the noise is a lot that we don't know where to start. So I want us to separate some facts from fiction, right? What is one common myth about AI or emerging technology that you often hear, and how do you gently challenge it? Right, so that's how I want to start. What is the myth about AI that you're hearing? So I want to start with Mary.
I think that there is some truth to this myth, is that AI is going to take over our jobs. Right? I think that's the biggest myth that's out there. There is some truth to that, where I think AI is going to take over some portions of our job. But as far as wiping out an entire industry of workers, I think that is probably a possibility.
Okay. So we're saying it's impossible. There's a myth, but it's impossible. Okay. That's what I've heard too. But I also want to hear, Lola, what's your thoughts about the myth? What are you hearing? Is there a threat? What's challenging about AI?
Naisha said AI is gonna take everyone's jobs. So I hear that as well. And I'll be honest with you. AI will be taking over some jobs. That's what based on my research, what I see, AI will be taking over. Like some jobs are going to decline, and then some jobs are going to rise, and then some jobs are going to be created. Like there are jobs that do not exist today that will be existing in the next 5 to 10 years. Just the same way there are jobs that are existing today, like pilots. You know, we didn't have airplanes until the Wright brothers did it. So like there are some jobs that exist today that didn't exist some years ago. However, the myth that I am hearing about AI that I kind of want to challenge, it's not a myth, it's true, like Mary's also, but it's the whole master AI now or get left behind. I think the approach to it is very important. While it is true that we need to learn AI and we need to like start now and get on that bandwagon, I think that, you know, just approaching it to that, oh, I need to get a certification, oh, my organization needs to start using AI is not a wise way to do it. Because I've seen somebody say that if you are doing rubbish and you just apply AI, you're just going to automate rubbish. So, so,
Deidre is agreeing to that.
so I think that we should, first of all, approach AI with curiosity as opposed to urgency. For individuals, my advice is intentional learning and incremental learning. For organizations, my advice is allow your people explore. Like, don't tell them do AI and do it this way. Like, allow them to explore what AI can do so they can learn and you can actually get the benefit.
I thought one person won't move, they may feel won't be
Okay.
from the floor.
Can I have that person muted, please?
Let's the person go like person go carry face.
Please unmute if you were muted and you were speaking. All right. So thanks for that. And I'm gonna speak on that later, but I want to hear from Deidre. Deidre was agreeing to something. I want to hear what she has to say.
Was that to me?
Yeah, that was you, Deidre.
Okay.
Did I pronounce your name well?
Yes, it's Deirdre.
Deidre, okay.
I hear about the jobs thing and the replacing and stuff like that, but I think probably the most absurd myth
Okay, I think she keeps getting muted.
probably the most absurd thing I've heard is that it's going to create a hive mentality and we're all going to have a homogenous thought process. And I kind of laugh because when I think about AI and where it can take us, I see it as a tool or a crutch. Those that jump on it within 5 years will be able to start expanding their brain into deeper thoughts and pedagogies. And it actually gives us an evolutionary step to move from what I call the monkey brain we have today to the dolphin brain of tomorrow. We use 15 to 20% of our brain, but AI is going to bring us to the 30%. And that's kind of how I see the trickling of it happening.
Okay. Awesome. That brings another question to my head, but I'll just hold that back. So many things are popping in my head. But Elaine, let me know, what is the myth? What are you hearing or feeling?
One of the myths is that AI and IT is hard. Oh, it's so difficult. I don't know if I can do it. It's so much. And I know for myself that I'm a biologist by trade, by education, right? So a degree in biology doesn't necessarily go hand in hand with working tech unless you're wired that way. If you're a person that likes tech and you're using it in the medical space or lab or pharmaceuticals, it works. But for some people, their brains are not wired that way to think about funnels or to think about how you can take a scheme for AI and then take it, whatever you create, and then write a book and take pieces of the book and elaborate. Some people can only think 2 or 3 steps and then that's it. And for those people, they're going to need remedial classes. They're going to need ways of thinking differently. Of course, there are always going to be jobs at the lower level, but even at the lower level, machines are taking over. In Walmart, machine aren't there robots stocking the shelves and sweeping the floors or whatever. And so the issue is that people they say, well, I could always get a job doing housekeeping or something. Probably not. The machines are going to do that. So you have to sort of upgrade. The people who are not willing to upgrade, not willing to read, not willing to enhance their knowledge on an ongoing basis, they're going to fall behind little by little to the point where they will not be able to keep up.
Right. Thank you. Thank you all for that. Now, a few things I picked up from here, right? And I had Deidre say 15% of our brain will be optimized about 30%. Is that what I heard with AI?
Absolutely. Because we're basically triggering a new way to take in an immense amount of data and create a categorical library system that feeds it to us the way we want it to. So it's an eye opener.
Right, right. I like that. I like that that point you bring up. And from Lola, I also hear you say for people, just be intentional with your learning, right? And for organizations, allow your people experiment. Let them find out what is good for them to help their jobs, succeed. Another thing I'd like to add to that is AI is you could use AI to solve problems, right? Don't just decide, oh, like Lola said, it can organize this rubbish into some. No, it has to be intentional and it has to actually solve a problem or support you in some way. Yeah, that's how to make the best use of it to enhance what you do. All right, awesome. Thanks for those contributions. I'll go on to my next question. So if AI has always, we've heard that AI has always been here. It's been here, we know that, right? And this is me coming from Mary. Mary is big on that. So Mary, you're gonna go first. So AI has always been here. What's different now about it? Why does this moment feel bigger, faster, or maybe even more personal? If that's true, what's making this moment different? Since if AI has been here for a long time.
Yeah, I think that we have been using AI to do simple things like math, calculation, Excel, Power BI flows. But the revolution in terms of what ChatGPT specifically that broke the market can do is something that we didn't think we were going to get there today. And the speed in which all these different AI the rivals of ChatGPT coming out and everybody's now focusing on AI, it became sort of kind of this thing that we almost feels like we're aspiring to and say we're going to get AI to do all of our job for us. It's this. We have such a high expectation of what AI could do for us that it just feels very unachievable at this moment.
Yeah. I totally agree. It's moving really fast.
Mm-hmm. And if
go ahead.
If I can add on to that is if you see AI is kind of like the buzzword right now. If you see any company advertising their product, they will say we're powered by a powerful AI that assists us in XYZ. So it's now this thing like, oh my God, I absolutely need AI. I absolutely need AI. Do you?
Yep. Do you, or is it solving the problem that you need it to do? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Does anyone want to have a go on that?
I see someone raise their hand in the audience, but I would.
Okay. I see. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see that hand too. Let me go with Elaine. Elaine first, then I'll reach out to Ruth.
I would say yes, I do need AI because I think that if you want to be seen as a transformation coach, someone that offers training or offers an opportunity different than others, you're going to have to go above and beyond. And sometimes, like, you just don't have it. Like for me, I'm not a marketing specialist. Biologists don't talk like marketers. So when my AI comes up with a marketing script, I'm like, how the hell did he know how to do that? I'm like, oh my God. And then like, thank you. And I start to sound more flavorful rather than like a boring scientist. So you have to use AI to come with a different game if you want to be seen as someone offering something different, something more than just the ordinary.
May I
Thank
add to
you.
that? So I do want to say that, and something that Deirdre said earlier, and also that Mary said. So the question of what was that question again that you just asked, Chichi, about why it's different now? I
Yeah.
think it's because, of all the data that we have put out in the last few years. While AI has been in operation since, or AI as a field has existed since the 50s, in the last few years, we have maybe let me say since 2010, we've had like social media, Facebook, places we can post articles. And so we now have like a lot of data in our cloud that the machines can train themselves on in order to mimic human intelligence. So I think that that's what the difference is now, because we can now see them like putting out so many different outputs that is very shockingly human because they have a lot of data to train on. And also when it comes to what Deja mentioned about how we only use 15 to 20% of our brain capacity right now. However, AI is going to challenge us to kind of raise that. There was something I was reading yesterday that was like a course by Stanford Business School, and they were saying something about reinforcement learning with human feedback and reinforcement learning with artificial intelligence. We are right now like the supervised learning where we are labeling things and having the machine train itself based on what we label it. However, there's what is mostly going on is called unsupervised learning, where the model is training itself, or we have AI basically giving feedback to AI. At some point, there's going to be a cap where the AI does not know anymore. And it will need humans to feed it more information because it already has, like it has gone through the internet back and forth. It has collected all the information that exists. So we are going to be challenged to think more and be more critical and be more intelligent if we want our AI to continue to be intelligent.
Okay. That's a good way to put it. Right? So somehow it still falls back on us, right? The more as time as well as with the data received in and out, it gets more intelligent. But after a while, okay, there's a span, right? So we have to keep. I think it keeps evolving, Lola, because I'm thinking how. I'm thinking of how does the data even get? Does it get full? Like I'm thinking that information keeps going on and on and on and on. So will it get to a point where it's that much so saturated and so full that it can't process by itself? Maybe I'm missing that, but maybe it's something I have to learn as well.
Well, I
Right.
want to make a comment on Lola's statement that it gets full and there's a point where it can't learn more. It's actually making up stuff. It will, I was in a 5-day, 10 hours a day AI conference for Black engineers, yes, this week. And they had AI models that were actually talking and interacting with individuals. And they would ask them something and they actually made it up. Just made it up. And they said, well, why would you say that? He said, well, I just made it up. Like, well, you caught me. But if you don't catch me, guess what? I get away with it. So that's something we, as people who are thinking individuals, we have to always be checking the data. You can't just swallow it. It's like meeting somebody and they tell you something, you're like, oh, okay. No, you have to be willing to do the research because they feed you garbage and you go and present that, and then your credibility is shot to hell. So I just wanted to say that it's not contradicting what you're saying, Lola. It's just saying that these AIs, they make us think that they have all the answers, but they don't, and they make it up.
Right.
They make it up as they go.
That is hallucination. And I don't know if I used the word fool, but I didn't mean to mislead with the word fool. What I meant is, I think we're saying the same thing. So
Mhm.
AI only knows as much as we have fed it. If we stop challenging ourselves to be intelligent, and if we all rely on AI, is what I'm trying to say, AI itself no longer has a teacher to teach it.
Mhm.
Because it's
Okay. We
learning.
are feeding it. Mhm.
Yes. So if we now all rely on AI to do our things for us, then there's nothing teaching AI anymore. It
Nothing
has
new.
nothing new.
Yeah. Yeah. So we shouldn't be so reliant on AI that we lose our ability to think and innovate ourselves, to produce more information and more data. Okay. All right. I love that. And this is by no means we are having a healthy conversation. I like the, different views, so that helps us more, even more engaging and interesting. So I'm still looking at the chats, guys. If there are any questions, please feel free to drop it there or raise your hand to ask your question. Okay, so let's go into tools, right? What tools have you used in your space, with your team, with your family, or do you use daily that has made a significant difference in how you work? Oh, anyone can start. Okay, let me start with Elaine.
You're asking me what tools that I've used?
Yes, what tools have you
Yes.
used? Yeah.
I tend to rely heavily on some people may say, "Oh, ChatGPT is dead." No, not really. I use it heavily, and I build different projects in there so I can connect my themes and my stories so that I can then elaborate. I'm part of it's called the AI Wellness Universe. And with that tool, I am actually able to write a book in like 20 minutes. So it makes my head go like, wait, the world is spinning too fast, slow down. And so I'm actually running workshops where we have actually written books and used a lot of creative imagery that shows people of color in their beautiful descriptions, beautiful images. Whereas before we were getting images with 6 fingers, 2 arms, made me wonder whether I should even, if my doctor says, we're going to be using the AI robot, I'm like, no AI robot on me, please. And another tool I want to mention is a project management tool. It's called Krulo, Kroolo. Some of you here might have interacted with me and I shared with you a 30-day trial on it. I think you can use it even past 30 days if you only have one project. But Krulo gives you an opportunity to work on a project, have it help you. Of course, for the experience or the senior project manager, you might say, oh my God, this is so slow. I need something more involved. But I do believe it's a good way to remind yourself of all the tools that are out there, all the different strategies that you can approach with project management. Sometimes you're just so much in the weeds of it all that you just lose sight of what should you do next, and maybe you're acting based on emotions. So it's really good to have just something else that's not emotional about it, but can give you, well, have you thought of this? Try these strategies. This is the next 3 steps you should be looking at, or here's the response you should be getting from your client, and if not, these are the options you can take. So I use Krulo, and I'm not using it on a customer's project, just so you know. Some customers are a little wary of their data being put into something where someone else can get access to it. So I'm using it mainly for my own purposes of writing a couple of project management books and some of my manuals for my training classes.
So thanks for stating that guidance. Some clients will not want the information, of course, for security reasons. Yeah. So as you use those tools, ensure that the tools are compliant, and your clients, of course, know about it. Okay. All right, Lola, let's hear you. What tools are you using?
Right, the tools I use often, I use ChatGPT very often to brainstorm. Whenever I'm in a brainstorming mode, ChatGPT is my first go-to. I use Gemini when I want to use, and Gemini is basically Google's version of ChatGPT. I use Gemini for more, I want to say, more of a human touch. Like it speaks more naturally than ChatGPT does sometimes. And then Claude for like meticulous writing, or like anything that's maybe if I want to create if I want to do a slide deck, or I'm trying to do something formal, I use Claude AI for that. Another tool that I use is Gamma. I love Gamma. Gamma is like I would
Like
do a
magic.
commercial for Gamma. Gamma is because I've never been a PowerPoint girl. So like every time there's time to do a PowerPoint deck, I'm delegating, assigning, running, whatever I need to do to step out of the way. But now, now I'm like, yes, give me the PowerPoint decks. I'm gonna do it. So Gamma is awesome. And
Yeah.
there's Replit. So if you've not ever tried to like create an application for yourself, because you now can do it with AI and you don't need to know how to code, go try Replit or Lovable. Those are apps that basically AI that helps you build apps.
So do you have all this recommendation? Let me ask Elaine and Lola, do you have all the recommendations as a resource for today? Do you have any of those that you can throw into the audience, or maybe send to me later on? Or yeah, if you have them, we'd like to have it. You can drop it in chat here, or you can share it some other way. Thank you. So someone asked, what tool did Elaine use to write a book in 20 minutes? Elaine,
Yeah, that is the AIW.
You're on mute again.
I'm sorry. I'll put the link in the chat. It's called the AI Wellness Universe.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that. Okay, Mary, how are you using AI today?
Yeah, so I want to call the AI tools that I use, tying back to the very first question. I use Microsoft Excel. I use Microsoft Teams. They're AI, right? But one of the things I found really, really useful is ChatGPT. As a change manager, I write a lot of communications. I write a lot of training. I write a lot of test scripts and things like those. So ChatGPT is able to do that first draft for me, help me customize it, and I copy and paste it onto whatever document that final format I need to. Then I edit with my company's specific information, data, and needs.
Awesome. Okay, so how about Copilot? How Copilot compared to ChatGPT? How's that for you?
Copilot is too slow for me. Like you put in something in Copilot, it takes like 5 minutes to spit it out. ChatGPT is like 30 seconds, right?
It's like comparing Gucci and Fashion Nova. No.
I know. It's like Marshalls and Saks.
I am always so upset with Copilot. Can you be smarter? No, but yeah, it's annoying. All right, so Deidre, go ahead. Mary, you want to say something?
I was gonna put in say a final anecdote in there. A little bit of anecdotal thing here is that Lola was talking about we need to kind of up game in order to make sure our AI is smarter. I don't know if you all heard of the London startup that essentially they apparently had this wonderful AI chatbot that will help people build apps. And what the company ended up doing was hire 700 engineers in India that was making these apps. So essentially they defrauded all their investors, with Natasha, which is the bot. Anyway, look it up. The company is called Builder AI, and I'll be happy to put that in here.
Please do.
But the thing is, I think that kind of ties back to our second question is AIs cannot replace humans. This company cannot do what they set out to do, so they hire 700 engineers to do things live.
That's
It really
right. It still needs that human touch, because
Correct.
imagine you writing all that change management documents. Like, no, we still need you to fix that, to deliver it, to help teach people, like, how does it work? How do you apply it? So yes, it can enhance your work, but cannot replace you. All right. Deirdre, I'm so sorry. Please go ahead.
So I have to say, I've got a little bit of a different slant. I'm in
Good.
that I started analog and went digital when I was like 7 years old. So I know what
Hmm.
cassette tapes are all the way to what we have today. And so I've always been a bit of a Luddite, a little bit more of a late adopter when it came to AI. One company that I've worked with continuously throughout my career was IBM. And I remember when IBM Watson came out and did the Chess Master, and GE Money at the time that I was with them brought IBM in to do decision trees in the fraud department and to help curtail losses. But what I've started to recognize is that we've hit a point with our technology where it's not only the process of providing data. I mean, we've gone from getting cron jobs that give us a daily delivery feed to companies producing their own data lakes to APIs exchanging freely information through tokenization based on relationship status. So we're at a point where there's so much information and we're starting to get decision trees. People are afraid to lose that human touch. So I took a Grammarly challenge. I'm starting to use Grammarly language, and it really revolutionized the way my resume was accepted by people because it told more of a story and was less bulletized. Currently, I've got a ChatGPT challenge I'm going to start with myself in July. So I've not really been in that generative AI space, but where I have been, my aha moment was when we took at DFW that IBM Watson mentality and built out the digital concierge for Airport 4.0. And that's being adopted across many international airports overseas, especially like in Europe. And what it did was it created a failure effects modes analysis, which is what we use in Six Sigma to say, hey, I'm hearing this, but based on what I'm hearing, the weight of this decision may not be as important as something else. Because for me, that concierge is taking more than the binary data feed, and it's imposing empathy. It's self-selecting when to be a little erratic to get a clearer picture of what the customer is asking. And that interaction amazes me, whether it's going to mimic or mirror or what tone, how it approaches. And so because it's now triggering its own decision making on the return of investment in a conversation, which is basically me taking a ball, handing it to my cassette tape computer in my head, and then it punting back at me and wanting a scorecard. And the reason why it kind of triggered me is when we built the digital concierge service off of the IBM Watson, we created a chatbot that had a synthetic humanism, and it had to learn about cultures and the types of people who traffic through DFW Airport. Because of that, I'm actually starting to let loose my laces and kind of play with the generative space. But it really did take the computer telling me that it could take the ball and roll with it and fulfill from a servant leadership position the needs of someone without me ever having to feel anxious or triggered that was going to underperform and they were going to ask for a human to come out and help them. So that really won kudos for me.
That is an awesome project. That is such an awesome project. And it touches the human side, the empathy, the decision making, right? That humans bring, but it does that. So, what's the next level for that? Like, is that going to be still more AI focused? Or do you see at some point where it gets, okay, we cannot go further, we need some human, or is it just doing an excellent job? Are there no gaps? As in what? I'm just trying
Well,
to
I
see
have
how,
to say,
yeah.
the hop, skip, jump, and bounce for me is when my smart building automations or my smart warehouse automations begin to tell not only the people who are on the front line who are working for the business what is going on with that same empathy when there's a logistic issue or something's happening that AI can't maintain their service level. And I will be blown over when the first business is, hey, I need that transparency for my customer too. And so we start providing through that experience customer answers that they're going to be able to ingest, materialize, trigger questions, curiosities, and answer. But they're not going to feel like a lot of us did in the early 90s, all the way through to the late 90s, that we were going to absolutely lose touch with the whole perspective that business is in business for human owners, people who are utilizing the services, the products, the model materials. The other day I was going through, what was that Chinese restaurant called? Oh, they're owned by McDonald's. I'm sorry. You go through, it's a drive-through experience. And I always get the walnut shrimp. And this time it wasn't a human talking to me. It was a computer. And the computer got the order wrong. And that got me more triggered that I couldn't ask the computer questions and it tell me why it wasn't interpreting me well. So I went around the drive-through. I spoke to the owner or the manager, and they let me know where they were in their testing. And so that's one that I'm definitely going to keep apprised of, because I think if someone can get me to actually want to order through a drive-through my order, get it right, but not only get it right when it gets it wrong, help me understand how I can help it better do its job so that there's more people out in the restaurant doing customer service interactions and they've got the computer running the drive-through except for fulfillment. That's just going to be amazing.
Yeah. That will be amazing. I have stories to tell about that as well. Awesome. Okay. Now I want to move our focus to the chats just a bit. There's some things popping up there. Yeah. So okay, so Elaine and Lola, thanks. Okay, Mary, for dropping all the information there. Thank you. So I'm seeing here, what tools can one use to transcribe notes from Microsoft Teams, meeting recaps from daily stand-ups, or meeting recaps from daily stand-ups?
I was just answering that, is that MS Teams actually has the built-in AI, where if you record the meeting, it has a way to send everybody in the call a summary of the discussion, and it's pretty good. So we don't have to take notes. And there are some third-party apps as well that can connect with MS Teams, and I think some folks are putting those apps in the chat already.
Okay. Okay, so I think someone, okay, Lola already answered. Fireflies AI, Read AI, Other AI. Okay, they have transcript. Okay, so what are some accessible books, blogs, all the resources that can help? Has it been answered? Okay, what are some accessible books or other resources that can help someone new to AI to build a solid understanding and feel more confident exploring the topic without getting overwhelmed? Yeah, Deirdre, please go.
So I'm in that pickle right now. I love that Google has AI. So when you type in your question, it's not just giving you the data mine, it's giving you self-selected based on your vernacular what it thinks you're asking. You change one word, you get a different response. And because it is so catered, words really matter in the criterion. And I think the more that we begin to build criterias that not only match relevant detail, but we humanize it to where voice interaction, if I'm escalated and pitchy versus looking down to the corner and being small and very light in what I'm saying, the computer's going to change as well, because it is trying to bridge that gap where it can serve us as a servant leader, but not be the ultimate last slide, not make people feel like it was invaluable, like it wasn't valuable, the interaction at all.
Okay. Naisha, did that answer your question?
Yeah, I was taking notes while she was speaking, so it
All right,
definitely gave
great.
me
You
some
are
insight.
taking notes. Thank you. All right, Mary, did you have something to add? I thought I saw you on mute, but if you didn't, that's okay. All right. Okay, so I'm looking at the chat again. Oh God, my screen changed. Okay, so let me see. So can we discuss the need to take notes using AI note taker without asking permission? Elaine, what is that about? Can you speak more on it? Mhm.
For me as a trainer, whatever works for my clients, I'm completely for it. But when they use a note taker and then they never review the notes, and then the next class they don't remember any of the materials, that tells me the note taker is just a formality so that they can then scroll their phone and do other things. I If I am running a call and somebody joins with a note taker, they need to say, "Hey, Miss Jackson," or "Hey, Elaine, would it be okay if I use my note taker because my arm is broken and or my fingers are broken and I can't use them?" Or something. Just ask permission. But when people join
Right.
a meeting, their note taker joins and they never join. I'm like, how disrespectful. No, you don't do that. You don't get to come into the room and listen to people who are being transparent and very vulnerable, and they may be talking about something about their company. So now their stuff is on your recording where you might want to feel the need to speak to somebody about it or put it out there on the web. So I think that there needs to be a level of respect. Ask to use your note taker. And then if the person says, "No, I don't want note taking," don't take it any kind of way. It's just the person wants you to be engaged. And that's what we want as instructors and trainers. We want our clients to be engaged and add back to the enrichment of the lesson. Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, spank my hand. I'll put my hand right here. You can spank it.
Elaine, I want to throw in a different perspective. As we think about inclusion, I understand that people may have some challenges with distractions, with noise level, with concentration, and things like those. There may be a lot of things going on in their lives. So if they need to record and later review, there are people who are complete jerks who are not going to listen to you. We get that in every single training we have. But I also wanted for us to be considerate of others who may have special needs and may absolutely need to use these note-taking tools.
I'll add on to that. I've actually, for
Interesting.
myself, I feel like taking notes distracts me. If I'm in a meeting with people, ever since I started using Note Taker, I'm able to concentrate on the person I'm talking to and actually have a conversation without feeling the need of, oh, I'm going to forget this. Let me quickly write this down. I do hear the perspective of you're not showing up to a meeting and then you send your note taker without even any permission. But I think for me, having a note taker has helped me to connect better and really like get conversation going as opposed to that, oh, I need to take a note. Oh, I need to take a note.
Yeah. Elaine, you were going to say something. Just give everyone a chance.
Yeah, no. What Mari said was it has me going off on a tangent right now. My brain is thinking about all the different people, all the different learning needs that people come to a class with, and that maybe they are someone that would benefit from the class, but they can't take the notes, or they have some learning disabilities, so they need to take the notes and then play it over 400 or 500 times, whatever it takes. And so, yeah, I think what I was thinking mainly was, if someone were taking like an engineering for NASA astronauts class, that you wouldn't get certain people that had learning disabilities taking that level of class. So it depends on the kind of class. There are some classes where you're just learning maybe Canva, or how to use Word or PowerPoint, or something basic. And then when you get into these technical classes, you can't have somebody just sit there and take the notes and listen to the notes, and they're not engaged. They're not engaged means when you say, hey, can I have a show of hands, and nobody shows their hands. Even
Mhm.
here, when Chi says, hey, how many people, and no one answers. Why is no one answering? Because they're either in the back making a sandwich, getting a soda, getting a beer, or they're out there playing catch with their dog. They're not engaged. I understand people are busy, but if you're in a class, if you go in your change management class, there's no way you could have finished that without being some part of you engaged in getting the materials, remembering what the teacher said, and what happened when you took the notes, so that you could then compile it all, so that when you take the test, you pass the test. So I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
just say, hey, teacher, I need to be able to take the notes. Just say
Mhm.
what your situation is. Don't just kick the door open and say, here I am.
Yeah.
It's
I
it's about
totally,
respect.
yeah, I totally agree with that. It's just the same thing. The meeting is recorded. You want to seek permission. Is it okay to record? Or you're in an interview. I was in an interview recently, and there was a note taker there, and they asked permission, do I mind? Or they're recording, do I mind? So yeah. So I didn't let them video record, but I let them take the notes, was my preference, right? So yeah, I'm glad they gave me that option.
The
Okay.
one thing,
Yeah, Deirdre, sorry,
um,
go ahead.
I hear what Elaine's saying, and I agree with it in so many different ways. One of the note-taking apps that I tried when it first hit the market was Otter. And Otter, much like Skype, once you downloaded it, it took over your computer. You were never getting rid of it. And so it made me think, why wasn't it working for me? And when I think about notes, the hardest part for me to take notes in and get accuracy is release planning, which is a 3-day effort. 1 day of hearing everything the business wants. In the next 3 to 6 months, a day for half a day for the architecture to start talking about the conversations they need to have so they can help the business make decisions and gain alignment. And then the technical schmees, spending a half a day to a day with the business out of the office, kind of planning what the work is going to look like before you get to actually the project planning or the program planning piece. Well, release planning would be so much easier if it could do what the people on my team do. And that is, Deirdre's got a programmed language. I say action item, that requires my people to make sure they have a name, time, date, and who's going to be found at fault, what departments in that statement. Otter's not going to know that. So when the note taking actually gets to the point where it can be specific enough, where I can create triggers for specific criteria to be achieved, I'm all there. But right now, it's just easier for me to train a few people on my team who are emergent leaders that want to shadow and learn project management because they were coders, or individuals in an internship, than it is to figure out how to get Otter to know what to do in an action item versus a parking lot versus a decision point as articulated. That being said, As soon as it gets easy, I'm there. I will not be a Luddite or a note taker in my release planning sessions.
Yeah, it does help focus, definitely. All right, so we have a few more minutes. I want to go through two questions, right? With AI, with organizations, it could start affecting trust, right? When you're bringing something new to your team. I don't know if anyone here has ever introduced a tool to their team that supports their work and how the team took it. How did you introduce that to your team without them feeling threatened by it, right? First of all, for the change managers here, what is the process for doing that? And for those who have done it, how did that land with your teams?
Change manager, so I'll speak first. I think is being transparent with them what this tool is for, what it is not for, how to use it, and how not to use it. So, for example, with ChatGPT, one of the things we all keep talking about, we need to use AI, we need to use ChatGPT, but we also need to understand the danger of ChatGPT. To prepare for this week's call, I actually been using ChatGPT in all the wrong ways this week just to see what I can break. So, because I'm me. So one of the things I did was I asked ChatGPT to give me a 900-day calorie meal plan. No sane nutritionist will give anybody that kind of meal plan without a medical doctor's notice or under the supervision of the medical doctor. It gave it to me. I asked ChatGPT some very illegal questions that I'm not going to repeat here because we're being recorded, and it gave me answers. So there is a dangerous side to ChatGPT. There's a way to not use ChatGPT or AI. So anytime you introduce a new tool, be transparent. What is it for? What is it not for? And then also, if people have concerns and say, hey, is AI going to take over my job? Be transparent with them in terms of that answer. Give them that space to be anxious because that toxic positivity gets us nowhere. Give them that space to say, I'm worried, I'm concerned. Let them emotionally react to things as well.
Thank you. Now to the project managers here, right? How have you introduced, tell us what you have introduced, right? How it landed with your team. Tell us the benefits. Elaine, go ahead.
I am privileged to work for an organization where I function as a release train engineer. They are AI forward. And so we have internal like AI tools. For instance, we have our internal version of ChatGPT. We have our internal version of a coding assistant that helps software developers code. So when there's a playground basically that you can go, just like OpenAI has a playground where you can go and create custom whatever you want to do. So I went ahead and used that to create, I'm building an application called Piper, which is basically AI for project management and backlog refinement, really. And so I wanted to kind of like use our AI playground to replicate what that looks like for us. And so the first time I kind of like introduced it to the team, I'm like, hey, you know what? I used our AI playground to create this tool, and I think it's going to help us with planning and all that. And they were like, well, what's the difference between using this and using like the regular ChatGPT type of thing? And that kind of like broke my heart because I put my heart and my soul into the development of that thing. And so, but I took it as feedback. And like I said, I'm building a software as a service app right now. And I have reached out to project managers and people in our field to ask for their feedback. Some of them very critical, right? So not every tool will land. I liked what Mary said, that when you are telling people to use AI, be transparent about what it's going to do. What we talk about AI and we say that you need to give AI context. Where did AI learn it from? It's from human beings. Imagine I text you something and I give you no context. I just text you, oh my God, with no context. You're going to, so even when you're speaking with humans, when you're giving them tools or giving them assignments, give them context so that they can context and clarity so that they can, move forward as they should with AI.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And I'd give you the floor, Lola, to speak about that in a moment. I'd like to hear more about what you're doing, what you're building. I think it's very beautiful work here, getting out there. Elaine, do you want to speak to the question?
Yeah, I have worked for the last 23 years for my own company. For various reasons, I find it better to work for myself because I will never on a Friday afternoon say, pack up your stuff and go home, you're fired. I will never treat myself like that. I'm too good to myself. But I'd like to speak to the point of when you share data, when you share a new tool, whether it's AI or it's project
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
management or leadership
Automation.
or yes, sustainability, which I'm certified in, PMO, AI, PQ, which is positive intelligence. I find that when I mention there's a new program out, there's opportunity to do project management as a business with Oliver Lehman, that people say, well, I don't see a lot of people running for it. I don't see like everybody running for it. So my comment has been, why don't you wait till everyone and their mother is chasing the certification and then you get online? I am at a point in my life, I want to be an early adopter. It's not a new word. Being an early adopter means that you are a visionary. You start to see things as they start to hit the market and you start to catch the wind early rather than waiting till everybody's online and now you have to stand and wait. And I find that a lot of times people are not motivated till they see everybody else doing it. Then they want to complain about, oh my God, the price is so high. Oh, why are there so many people going after this? I wish I had thought about it earlier. I wish I could have, would have, should have. And I believe that as project managers, as transformational coaches, as we help people move into this space of taking command of their careers or their professions, that they have to really go to a webinar and see how the energy that comes from others and say, I got to be in the front line. I got to get to the table first. I don't want to eat the crumbs that come from those that already had the meal. I want to be the first at the table. And this is not selfishness. It's about being the one who gets to the early adopters end up making the more money. They get to buy the houses, they get the market, they catch the market when it's early, they get the better share of what's available. Being at the end of the line, you get what's left over.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for that. I totally agree with the early adopters and late adopters are different. But Deirdre, did you want to add something from your change management perspective with introducing tools?
So, Gigi, one of the things that I've recognized is that when people hear AI, especially in the workplace, they think about productivity, efficiency, and then they start thinking about baselines. And so it really affects the trust because if you don't explain what it's there for, we all assume it's there to judge us. And what I mean by that, in order for me to compel to you that my AI bot that's taking notes is good for us, I have to create this no hunting mentality with my team and be very focused on collaboration, which means in my working agreements initially, until everybody understands that this is not going to be part of it, my AI cannot be a scorecard. I cannot have my collaborative team be triggered that it's there to keep attendance. It's there to review participation. It's there to judge whether in a room you added to the conversation or you took away from the conversation. But most importantly, if AI is curtailing authenticity in the room, I might as well not have a meeting. I need people to be triggered, be transparent about what's triggering them, give me what solutions they've thought about, and hear from other people what other lenses they can look through, see if it's a communal feeling that we all are sharing but not expressing. And so I have to get my whole team that this is no hunting. The AI in this room is not about IQ. It's about EQ. It's only about getting us to communicate more effectively and efficiently and only create a record that we know is going to move. I mean, as a project manager, I've never given a timeline that's been 100% exact on the nail. And everyone knows that. That's why I get to say red, amber, green. Once you get past that, you get past the idea that we're going to lose our jobs because of AI. AI is automating only to make our lives easier because we on a team like to keep it simple. And it's there also to give people a tool to be more productive. So when we adopt AI or changes in that pattern, we're actually given an opportunity by our organization to take the reins of our own career. We're an early adopter. We got it there. That's kudos. That's awesome. You're going to move forward. You're an individual that needs a little bit more training, a little bit more coaching. Just because it's AI, we can't fault that person. We've got all sorts of backgrounds and learning styles. But we do have to come to an agreement that the more that AI does that's either administrative or binary or blue hat working, frees up more yellow hats to be hired. And if I can perform as a blue hat and advance as a yellow hat, who now gets to evaluate the feedback from AI and add that 360-degree human lens, which AI will be doing in about 10 years on its own, then I can really grab hold of the reins and become a red hat. And we all want to be the CEO, CFO, CDO, CISO. But we've got to climb a ladder to get there. So for me, the most critical way to evaluate whether a team has the no hunting and the trust capability is when I can trigger someone on my team who's more youthful, has more access to what is currently digitally accessible, and get them to be an agency for change. But if I stop there, I've undersold the value of AI to the whole organization, because I've also got to advance someone who is tried and true, that's been around, knows better than AI can ever tell them, because AI doesn't have that failure effects modes analysis today that it will have in a few weeks. That's going to slam dunk this in 5 to 10 years.
Right.
If I get that person to adopt, when that mature frown happens, that is the biggest wow a project manager, a collaborative team, an organization can have. And that's only because that naysayer has turned their frown upside down and they've got 20, 30 years of authentic experience of how we've done business. And AI hasn't learned that yet. So that's how we keep everyone feeling valued. Like it's not going to be a job loss, but most importantly, it's not really going to threaten you.
Yeah.
If
I especially like what you said about your AI cannot be your scorecard. It cannot be the thing that will drive away or kill authenticity or collaboration or communication. If for anything, it should enhance that. So thanks for giving that perspective. Now, I want us to go into, for time, I want to give everyone here 1 minute to just speak about. I see you guys are dropping it there, but please, rather than drop it, I want you to speak about it for 1 minute. Our community is, we're continuously learning. Like, as you can see, there's something they want to, learn from you. So let's drop out one thing that we can offer, if possible, to the community, and they can also follow up with you afterwards. Elaine, I'll just start with you, then Lola.
Okay, I did put my offer in the chat because I didn't want people to jump off the call without an opportunity to at least copy it and get in touch. You mentioned the martial arts. That's one of the latest programs I have released. You may be wondering, well, why martial arts? Because bottom line, no one here or anywhere can pretend to be a martial artist. They may say, "Oh, I'm a project manager," and sort of fake around. But let me tell you, come trying to pretend to be a martial artist, and we'll see how well that goes. And so the reason I came up with this workshop was to talk about leadership. In martial arts, as you may know, it's more than just fighting, it's discipline, it's being grounded in yourself, knowing what you should and shouldn't do. Same thing in project management. We have ethics, we have a code of conduct, and what are some of the things that you should or shouldn't be doing on projects to help further the success of your organization. So we're talking about it, we're sharing leadership styles, and I have a workbook. If you'd like access to the workbook, it's not going to teach you martial arts, but it's going to bring you a different perspective and help you connect it to project management. So that's my gift to the audience and to the members today.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Lola.
Okay, so what I dropped actually in the chat is just a mock-up of how I started my AI journey. So for anyone who hasn't started their journey and is wondering where to start, that Word document basically has like the courses to take and the mindset to have. But for the thing that I'm building, which is my baby that I love and I'm going to talk about every day, is Pipa. It's project intelligence for planning. Basically, right now, the functionality is basic. It's in beta, and what it does, it automates backlog refinement for you in simple words, from the epic level all the way to the stories level. However, we are working in the back end, and the new release is going to be mind-blowing. It's basically going to be product planning, product development, like to the point where you can connect it to GitHub. And when you are done coding, the stories are closed. Like, it's a lot coming on. So one-stop shop for project management and product planning. I'll leave the link here for you. If you have any kind of like ideas of something you would like to see automated in project management or in Agile, please send it to me. That's what I'm looking for. So Pipa is basically everything that you want automated as an Agile leader, as a project management, is going to be on Pipa. So those are my two offerings.
Thank you. Superb. Love it. Love it. Thank you. Deidre, did you have anything you wanted to share with the audience? Yeah, it does sound very exciting, Aisha.
So for me, the best thing I can offer anyone is give me a chance to learn from you, and I've got a lot that I can help you better understand. My whole goal is to have a group focus on a center of excellence with digital collaboration, but more importantly, shared community experiences. Throughout my career, I've always had a master black belt or two that I was mentored by, that I've always been able to reach out and get help from for like 30 years. And I've got a group of individuals that I've trained in Six Sigma for green belt and black belt status in order to become a master black belt myself. But I don't have a millennial connection today. I just know what businesses want. So for me, it's all about building that intelligent network around, if I don't have the answer, I can still at my job tell my boss I can get an answer, knowing that I've got people I can reach out to, and I can also be a resource to you. Now, there'll be a working agreement around it. No fire drill calls like 5 minutes before a presentation, but I have room to take on 1 to 3 mentees right now, because I know that the value I'm going to find in their experiences today is going to help them see the value I give them. But more importantly, it's going to continue to keep me at a place where I can take in the next generation and still be relevant. Because I hate to say it, I'm 46. I don't want to be the dinosaur collecting dust at Walmart as a greeter. I want to always be on the front line of innovation.
Awesome, thank you. So Deidre, this offer you have the capacity for 1 to 3. Sorry, someone speaking?
Yeah.
1 to 3 mentors in the Six Sigma, or which area, or just in general? There's a background noise I'm hearing.
It can be, my background is pro-site change management. It is Six Sigma, but I've been in agile transformations since the first Kool-Aid drop was made. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to quarantine anyone. If you find value in anything I've said or I've triggered you, even if I've offended you and you want to learn to like me, I'm here. It's the only way we get better and we change.
Yeah. So I'd want to also challenge us to take up these offers for mentorship. I really do love that. And if you feel like you want to walk through Agile Disciples, we can form the group of 3 people, and then we can walk with Deidre, walk with her time, walk with her working agreement, so it's more scheduled. Yeah, as a group. All right, thank you. Mary, well, tell us, just say whatever.
I don't have anything as amazing as
I know, but I love you, Mary.
Gosh, I am so impressed by the knowledge on this panel, and I feel like so small right now. But there are 2 things, what I can offer is there are 2 things I am truly passionate about. And one is the field of change management, another is dog training. So connect with me on LinkedIn. If you have any questions about change management, how to do it, what are the methodology, comparison, ping me. I'm very, very passionate about my field. And if you have a troublesome puppy at home, talk to me.
She has a baby there.
I can train any animal under this planet. Is one of my superpowers, and I promise I never charge.
Mary is amazing like that, and she's so welcoming. So please connect with her. Could you drop your LinkedIn profiles or handles right here while I go ahead and close out and ask the audience if they have any questions, and also thank this awesome powerhouse panelists, Lola, Mary, Deidre, Elaine. Thank you for showing up with all the boldness, the honesty, coming out with heart. You didn't just talk about AI, you showed us what the human side of it is. You talked about all the tools, and to our audience, thank you for leaning in, asking questions, being energetic, bringing your curiosity. At Agile Disciples, we believe in shaping the future, bridging the gap where people and technology don't compete, but we want us to work together and thrive together. And we'll keep sharing the information and bridging the gap. So the LinkedIn links are there. We will have the YouTube link set up soon, and it'll be sent to the speakers as well as the audience. So you can go back to it and listen to it again. For now, just want to say thank you to all the panelists and all the speakers. Thank you so much. Thank you. Awesome. We'll be here until 7 more minutes. But if there are any questions, please feel free to ask. Open up your unmute yourselves. If you have any questions, please let's have a conversation for the next 7 minutes. If there is. I'm opening up Piper right now. First of all, with Piper, I love the color already, just the aesthetics of it. And guys, if you have to drop off, that's fine. I'm just having conversation now and playing around with the links I'm seeing here and tools.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious, in corporate America, when it comes to project management, what tools do you think are really starting to take in an AI perspective? The last stint I had with not Rally, but the other one, the
Jira.
Atlassian one, Jira.
Mhm.
I didn't see anything a year ago with Jira. So has anyone seen any AI coming from that front?
I use Azure DevOps. I use ADO. And I haven't seen any change with ADO besides maybe other tools integrating with it, right? Haven't seen them change, or maybe there is. I haven't just looked into it.
No, Azure DevOps hasn't changed much. I think one of the tools that is starting to take a lot of attention is Monday.com.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Monday.com has been gaining a lot of attention.
Yeah. Because I know that, yeah, you're correct. Money.com is beginning to use AI to pull out some, I've seen it pull out some, it helps some of my teams that I coach identify, okay, which of your story doesn't have acceptance criteria. Like it just points you out to where what you could do with this story. Say, okay, this is not complete, your story is not reading very well, or there's no estimate here. So it guides you to what to improve.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, that's right, Mary.
ADO doesn't do that. You
Yeah.
can create really, really dumb stories with really, really dumb criteria, or leave the acceptance criteria empty and you can still create a story, which is very much not the way you should be doing things.
Yeah. So that instance, someone says Rovo. So to look by what's Rovo? Could you speak more about it? I haven't heard of that.
That's the AI tool for Jira.
For what?
Jira.
Oh, okay. So is it in Jira, or is it something you integrate? Okay. And what does it do?
That's the complete tasks. It helps you to write user stories.
Okay. Okay. That's new. Thanks for sharing. See how we're learning? Oh, Rovo Atlassian. Yeah, that's true. Okay. And it works, okay, all their products then. And this is very new. This is definitely very new. Yeah. So for Jira users, you can get onto Rovo and see how that works your team. Tutu, you can be quiet. Our agile coach, not agile, our coach. Speak up, please.
Good evening. It's a morning here in the UK. So
thank you so much for joining, Tutu.
An awesome session. Have learned, covered a lot of links as well. So I just felt I should share one of such that I use. Also, to get visual aids, just put in a text and it comes up with options for you to generate images to help with your presentations and to drive home the point, especially if you're coming up with models or you're coming up with insights. And another one which I want to also suggest, it's quite popular anyway, is Canva. So you can as well use that one as well. So yeah, that's my contribution. Thank you, everyone. It's been an enlightening session.
Yes, thank you so much. Napkin. I think Elaine, you shared napkin with me, right? Because I think I've seen you did some diagram with napkin. You're on mute.
Yes, I'm part of a really huge AI group with Kane Minkus, and he came up with something called Napkin, and I went and looked at it and I was like, wow. And I'm telling you, some of these tools, those of you who haven't gotten on the wave of what's going on, within 2 minutes, I just put in a couple of prompts and boom, you almost have to blink twice because you see your words become live on the screen. And sometimes the picture doesn't look right, so then you go back in and adjust the prompt. And that's what's the wonderful thing about AI is that you're limited by your imagination or by your words. So if you're kind of tight-lipped person and you're not very engaged, you're not going to get much. The more you
Yeah.
engage with it, the more you get. And it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. You're just like, your family comes running in the room because you scream out. You're like, they're like, what happened? Oh my God.
All
what
right. Mhm. Thank you. All right. So I can't thank you guys enough. We're at time right now. You have left us inspired, you've left us challenged, and we're looking forward to applying all of these things. So until next time, which won't be far, it might be tomorrow. Yeah, so let's keep in touch, and thank you for your contributions, and thanks to everyone who has stayed up till now. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Have a great one.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Bye.